Hello, everybody, and happy New Year's Eve here on the Hive channel. We're coming to you today for the last day of the year and the last day of the week. I know that sounds very dramatic, but we are closing this year off with a bang. We've got a special show for you today. It is our crypto and cocktails edition. So thank you all who are tuning in right now. And as you guys join, I just want to ring this year out with the special episode of not only some stats and looking at the year in review, also looking ahead and planning. What are your goals for next year? What do you hope to accomplish? Have you set out a way to get there? We're going to talk about that in this channel on this show as well today. And just very, very excited as we close this year to look at some interesting data points to see where Bitcoin is at and where it could be headed and what we could be expecting for this new year in 2026. Now, yesterday we covered some very interesting data that not many channels are looking at, which showed us that actually, as Rob unveiled some of the charts, hinted at that we could be seeing a rotation into altcoins soon for sort of a next leg up in altcoins, which not a lot of people are talking about either. And today we're going to also review some very interesting data points and charts that aren't commonly talked about, because on this channel we want to give you the alpha. We also did some live charting yesterday. We'll review how those setups went so you can learn, because our goal is that you can learn in real time as we do these YouTubes for free. And that being said, you still have access to the Hive VIP Telegram with the best callouts in this entire space. I am so convinced of that. We're absolutely crushing it. So that is still open for free for you. We're not sure how many days left. We're going to leave that. So sign up. The link is in the description below to the Hive VIP Telegram group. You'll be taken to our verification bot to sign up for our BYDFI link, where you'll get a free trading tuition. All you have to do is deposit any amount, $5, $10, doesn't matter. Transfer it to your futures account. And just wait for your magic internet money to appear. $100 bonus, guys. So that's our gift to you on this channel as we come in to the new year. I'm convinced that 2026 is going to be a phenomenal year for many reasons, which I'll get into on this show. But if you are tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're drinking, and just how you're feeling. So I'll reveal what I'm drinking in just a minute and the glass I'm drinking it in. Before I do so, I'm going to let people join the stream. I'm going to get into the news and just certain data points that we're going to be looking at. So, a lot has happened this year, guys. A lot has happened this year. It wasn't the year that many people hope for, in a nutshell, to say it plainly. Okay. People are very disappointed with altcoin action this year, and people are getting restless and they're getting anxious because all of the risk on assets are moving except for Bitcoin and crypto. And they're wondering, when is it our turn? Well, you know what? The people who are patient enough, I keep saying this, you are going to do exceptionally well. So cheers to you. I will cheers to you in a minute when we bring up Rob and we see what Rob is drinking. Okay. It's happening. I don't know what your name is, but you're on from Arizona. I'm drinking a Kratom ding. Okay, I actually Kratom. Wow, like the okay, Kratom, like the substance. I don't know even what to call it, but there's a Kratom tea place here in San Diego where I'm tuning in from, that they make all different kinds of teas and they have all different kinds of effects. So I want to say it's kind of like weed or marijuana, but I don't know. Maybe you can fill me in on what Kratom is, but it sounds really interesting and sounds like a very fun New Year's drink. So cheers to you. It's happening from Arizona. And Ronald, I don't know what those emojis mean. I can't decipher them, but actually they just made me remember a show that I went to in Vegas. Guys, if you ever go to Vegas, I've been to Vegas twice now this month. Go to the show Absinthe. It is absolutely a blast, and you're going to love it. So, I don't know. That was very random, but you know what? I'm feeling like having fun this New Year's Eve, guys, because that's what it's all about. It's all about having a good time and enjoying the journey, and that's why we have these crypto and cocktails editions, because we want you to sit back, relax, watch the show, and not to panic. All right. I also watched a movie yesterday. It's like number one on Netflix with Jason Statham. And the number one thing, they're all like security guards for this, the trucks that pick up the money. I forget what those are called, but the number one rule is not to panic, right? Just to stay calm, cool, and collected and assess the situation. And, that's what we're doing on this channel. We're sitting back, looking at the clues and the facts in the charts and acting accordingly. So on that note, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Let me know what you're drinking, and I'm going to show you, reveal, we're working on a special mug. We have one for women called the Queen Bee, okay, but we're working on a special mug for men, which we'll discuss with Rob as well. So to get right into the news, guys, let's just have a look at what is happening, because a lot is happening as we come into the year. First things first, let's have a look at the historical prices on this day, okay? Just to get a perspective. I believe it's this one. Let's see here. Oh, we got to take the video off. So just to get a perspective as to like what exactly has happened on this day every single year, okay, since Bitcoin was the inception of Bitcoin. So as you can see, it's a nice steady climb. Some years are less than others, but in general, we are going up. And a lot of people, I've been saying, if you look at the rainbow chart and things like that, we've just been in a perpetual bull run since the inception of Bitcoin. Okay, so ringing in the new year under 90,000. There are a lot of theories as to why, but actually on this show, we just gave you one of the biggest ones, and that is because we are in a symmetrical triangle, and Bitcoin just consolidating right now and deciding which direction it's going to go into the new year. So we discussed that triangle, and it's about 75% full, and the two price points are 75K to the downside and 103,000 to the upside. So we will act accordingly regarding how that plays out. So let me know in the comments where you think Bitcoin is headed. Will we head down first and then rally up, or are we going to just break out to the upside of that triangle? What do you guys think? It's fun to make predictions, although obviously on this channel we're going to take it day by day and see what the price gives us. All right, so some other important things have come out, including some the Fed minutes, right? So we're going to have a look at all of that data now, but that's just, I wanted to set the tone by saying, zoom out if you're feeling a little bit frustrated, because, over the years, Bitcoin is only going up. Okay. And it's done phenomenally well. Let me see, I'm going to remove this here. And now we are going to look at some of the news, okay? Just in, Congressman Warren Davidson praises Bitcoin. Remember, the promise of Bitcoin was not an illiquid inflating asset, but rather a permissionless peer-to-peer payment system. With Bitcoin, no third party could condition your access to your money, and you can move it anywhere at the speed of light, okay? The free transfer of value. Bitcoin is about freedom. That's why we're all here on this channel, because we all believe that. And we want something better, right? And you're here to make money, obviously, and just flourish and thrive. And this gives us the opportunity to do that. So I'm grateful for that going into 2026, indeed. So yeah, just be patient, guys. That's more of a patience game. Now, on some of the alpha and the news. So let's see here. I want to go over a few charts, but first we'll go over the Fed minutes and all the things that have been said. That was actually it was the Fed minutes from the 9th to the 10th of December, but just kind of like a summary of what we're going to see going into the year. Okay, so most officials agree if inflation continues to cool, further rate cuts are appropriate. We're kind of looking at will the Fed lower the rates in January or not? It seems it's an 89% chance on Polymarket that the Fed will not lower rates. And what we know is that they're not going to raise rates anymore. We know we're transitioning into a cycle where the Fed is going to inject liquidity. We also know that, the midterm elections are coming in November. And my thesis for that has always been Trump is going to want to flood the market with money. He's going to want people exceptionally happy going into those times so that he can win midterm elections, right? So he is doing everything in his power to replace Jerome Powell, to fill it up with people who are crypto friendly, pro crypto people. And I just don't foresee a scenario where we go into midterms with a very depressed market, right? I believe he's going to do everything in his humanly possible he can to do that. So we've gone over many theories as to what could happen and why, with many different charts and data points. But one of those charts, I'll go over this one first, okay? Bitcoin just flashed its fifth golden cross. The first four all led to explosive rallies. Now the fifth prints with everyone bearish and bored. The 10-year, 2 years turning, liquidity pressure is easing, and Bitcoin is coiled under resistance. The crowd doubts it, the data doesn't. So one thing I will say about this is, it's just a time old thing that when everybody expects Bitcoin to do a certain thing and everybody's calling for lower and lower and lower, that's oftentimes not what happens. And rallies are often born when there is doubt, uncertainty, and fear, not when everybody is expecting it and we're at peak euphoria. So we keep saying on the channel, we seem closer to a bottom than a top, right? Due to all the indicators we've seen, and just to keep these data points in mind. Now, another interesting data point we're going to look at is the gold versus Bitcoin. Okay, this is one interesting data point that we posted in the Hive, is Bitcoin versus gold. And it just flashed a signal that's only appeared 4 times in history. So let's have a look at that. that. Okay, because we like to look at different data points in this channel to get confluence and see what could be happening and why. And as you all know, my theory on this channel has been I've remained bullish, right? Even though it's been a very, very difficult year, mainly because of fundamentals, also because the charts haven't shown any topping signals, traditional topping signals, not anywhere close, but mainly because of macroeconomic conditions. Okay, we're going into an era where the Fed is easing, they're injecting money into the liquidity into the whole system, and also we're going to get more rate cuts. So it just doesn't make sense to go into massive mega bear market in those conditions, right? So this is another chart that adds a little bit of confluence to that theory and that thesis. So this is gold versus Bitcoin. And the last 3 times, so 2015, 18, and 2022, marked major Bitcoin cycle shifts where Bitcoin massively outperformed gold. All right. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? I see it's happening. You say down first. A lot of people are thinking down first, and it could be true. It could be true. And if it does happen, if Bitcoin does go to 75K, I will be accumulating at that point for long-term bags for sure. No doubt. So have a plan, guys, have a plan. But this is a very interesting chart indeed. And I'd like to pull Rob up to get his perspective. What's up, Rob?
Hey, how's it going? Just having my cocktails Friday, or I guess New Year's drink right now.
Yeah, actually, let's see that. So guys, I said we were going to reveal our drinks. I want to know all of your drinks in the comments below. But so I am drinking out of the Queen Bee glass. Okay, this is for all the ladies that sign up. So if you have women in your life that want to learn how to trade and join for free, our plan is to send them all a mug like this as the Queen Bee. Okay, and I'm drinking coffee and Bailey's today as my drink of choice because it's a little bit dark and gloomy here in San Diego. So I'm doing something cozy, warm, and I'm loving it. So Rob, what are you drinking?
I'm actually drinking a margarita because I found the open bottle in my fridge, so I figured I'm going to drink a margarita today.
Margarita.
All my glasses were dirty, so I had a Wizard of Oz cup, so I'm drinking out of.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Wizard of Oz. Okay, guys. So actually, when we were filming in Vegas for the course that we're about to release, which you cannot miss, and you get first access and a big discount if you're already in the Hive VIP Telegram. That is, we went to the Sphere and we saw Wizard of Oz, and it was phenomenal. It was very, very cool.
If you go to Vegas, go to the Sphere. Very, very cool thing to go to. I think everybody should do it once in their life, at least go see the Sphere.
Yeah, it was very, very cool. It was a fun experience. There's so many great shows. So we're drinking, we're being festive today. And so let's have a little cheers to everybody who supported the Hive and to Rob and his fantastic team and all the efforts because, we're putting a lot of effort 24/7 here in the Hive, and we're trying to get that out to you for free so that we can offer as much value as possible because our goal is to help you learn. So if you want to support the channel, hit the like, subscribe, and sign up to our Telegram group and our link in the description for BYDFI, and you get a $100 bonus and you're supporting our channel. Okay, guys. So cheers to all of you and to a new year coming in 2026. And we're absolutely going to thrive. And I actually want to, on that note, before we get back into the chart, Rob, your phrase on Telegram is winners win and losers lose or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of my sayings. So on my X account, I made a video on it. So I was doing TikTok for a bit, then I kind of cut back on it because I have a very extremely busy life, to be completely honest. Always on the go doing something. But so one of my things is mentally, winners win and losers lose. And it's not like, say if you have been losing this year, that's not calling you a loser. That means that you're doing something consistent that's keeping you losing. And winners winners do lose sometimes, but they don't continuously lose. And I like looking at sports in a lot of ways in that way as well too. You look at so football are for in America, the ones that you throw, not different countries where you kick the ball. In America, like the Steelers, I come from Pittsburgh, so you guys know. So Steeler Nation, they have 6-7 Super Bowl wins. So one of the most wins out of anybody in the Super Bowl area. So it's a culture of winning throughout time. They always and they're always underdogs as well too, it seems like. So it's just a culture of winning. And you look at some other football teams that have that many rings as well too. Why do the same football teams always have championship wins? They don't even have always the best players. Some other teams get the best draft picks and all that other type of stuff, but they don't win because it's something to do with the coach, something to do with the team, something to do with that area. And it's just something I kind of learned is you have to sit there and just surround yourself with winners and people who want to thrive no matter what the conditions are. And even if they do lose, Like I've watched enough like star athletes like one-on-ones and stuff like that, like with people who like interview them, that like they're like the best athlete out there, but they're on a team that's losing and they're losing and they don't know why. It's usually just a mindset type of thing. And we'll be doing more motivational stuff here eventually. I want to get more into that later on, but it's just one of those things where you got to surround yourself with winners, people that are going out there and getting it, people who do, when they do lose, they don't sit there and cry about it. They go, what went wrong? How do we fix it? How do we make it better?
Right. Right. I absolutely agree with that sentiment. And it's not that it doesn't mean that winners never lose at anything. It means you always have the winning mentality. So if you lose, like Rob said, you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep going. And I'm telling you, if you believe that you can make it happen, you will make it happen. And if you don't stop, you never give up, and you consistently just persistence, and you're stubborn about it. There's no thought in your mind that you're not going to make it. You will make it. You will make it. You'll become a phenomenal trader. All the things that you always wanted possible can happen if you have that mentality. And so that's just our motto and how we live here on this channel. And that's the kind of vibes we want to spread, that we are going to do it. It will happen, and we're going to make it happen.
Yep, 100%. So let's off of that, let's go ahead and jump into that last chart that you were showing, because on that chart was very. I think that chart was made by Steve, which is credit to him. Very, very awesome find on this year. And I just found that I want to make it myself as well too. And I just found it very interesting on how that RSI just always came to that same point. And the one thing that's different when you look at this chart here, you can just tell by looking at it that every time this RSI was down at those levels, we were at a cycle bottom. Are we at a cycle bottom now? I'm going to say no. We can't be at a cycle bottom, because we're not, just due to where we're at. On Bitcoin, it's still like close to $90,000. So that being we haven't hit the 1 week SMA 200 or anything like you would sit there and say for a cycle bottom. But we have indicators on 2 week time frames and stuff like that showing cycle bottom signals. So it's very much different. So it's the very first time that in 2022 we were down at this low. In 2018, cycle bottom. 2022, if I'm looking at it correctly, we had our first low, then our second low, and then we went off, and it stayed down there a little bit longer of a time. 2015, cycle bottom. Then you have the Stosh RSI. It looks like underneath it as well too. That pointing as bearish cross. And you sit there and look at the Bitcoin. We've gone over the Bitcoin 2 week chart as well too. It looks very similar in that same way. And I was just actually looking at gold. I want to sit there and compare gold, just gold by itself to this. And whenever I was kind of looking at it, we could pull up my chart next. I actually have gold pulled up. I was kind of sitting there kind of mapping it out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Gold more went steady sideways and dropped a little bit during that time. Kind of like people were taking profits on their gold and going into Bitcoin. And we all know that gold just went on a run. So are people getting ready to take profits and go into Bitcoin?
Oh, could be. And even though it's not a cycle bottom, it most definitely could be a local bottom. And that's, something that deserves some weight, because most people think it's going much, much further down from here. So yeah, this chart is really interesting because of that. This is gold versus Bitcoin. So shout out to Steve from Crypto Crew University that found this chart. And guys, it's really interesting. These are the kind of data points that we like to look at when the whole crypto X is looking one way or looking at one thing. We like to look at, the clues that tell us what actually could be happening, instead of just running with whatever narrative there is, right? So that's why we're trying to get the edge on this channel. Yesterday, we showed you the symmetrical triangle Bitcoin is sort of coiling inside of, and it's decision time, right? For now, at least. So it's 75% full, could potentially break out within the next handful of days to weeks. And we're just all eyes on that. But more on a macro perspective, this is sort of a very telling chart.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when you're down in this zone right here, when this RSI is down, I mean, technicals are technicals. You can't sit there and argue with them. When those technicals are down at those lows, at those levels there, buying that asset at those lows are usually the best time to buy if you're going to be long-term buying. And we have this on Confluence on just even the Bitcoin 2 week chart. So it's just one of those things. They're technicals. They're technically right and until wrong. But again, these are oscillators that go from 0 to 100, and a 5-year-old can see this chart right here. A 5-year-old can sit there and tell you buy. You guys don't see my cursor probably, but whenever that RSI is down there, you buy. Then whenever that RSI gets up above that white line, you sell. That's really simple. So
Right. And that keeps it very simple on a macro perspective, especially for people that just like to make bigger trades several handfuls of times per year, right? Like, so this would be sort of one of those times where you start to think maybe now is a good time to get positioned.
or the good time to sit there. If you go on the X, like I've kind of seen around the X, like I jumped on X a little bit. You're seeing the herd just basically saying full out bear market, like top is in definitely. I mean, 4-year cycle wise, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. But again, we have different indicators right now that are showing things that are for the very first time ever in the crypto industry. We have that long-legged doji candle in the yearly time frame, first time ever. We have cycle bottom indicators right now, not at cycle bottom, first time ever. There's just a lot of first time evers. That one chart you're sitting there, you showed earlier, that one, the price levels of the New Year's close date. So I looked through that real quick, and the first thing I noticed there. So if you want to look at this right here, you have for 2013, 2,755. Then you close lower the next year, 2014 at 300. Next year, you close higher. All right. So let's go through a little bit. We're going down a little bit. So 9, 14. Okay, $14,000. Next year, 2018, you close lower at $3,000. Year after that, you close at $7,000. So 2 years now where we had closed lowers, but the following year you closed higher, correct?
Right.
Let's see if we can find another one. All right, 49,000. All right, 16. So 2021, $49,000. 2022, $16,000. Right. All right. So next year after that, $42,000. Right. So we closed higher after the 1 year we closed lower. All right. So let's go back down through it again. 2024, we closed at $95,000. 2025, we're about to close at $87,580. We closed lower. So there's a pattern there. I mean, that's what technical analysis is, finding patterns. You got to be right. And as soon as she showed that, I saw that right there. I was like, all right, so every time we close the year lower than previous year, we've always closed higher than next year.
That's a very good data point you picked out there. And so that should sort of like put things into perspective as to, even if we don't have a massively bullish Q1 or Q2, during the next year, we have a very high probability of closing higher than right now. So that's a really interesting thought for, investing in general, right? And where we're at in the cycle.
Yep. So, I mean, that's just something that, that's what technical analysis is. You're finding patterns, you're finding previous things and looking for something to kind of happen similar. So that's one pattern right there that hasn't been broken yet.
Right. No, I like that. So that's another interesting data point and some confluence as to, something's going to happen in 2026 that maybe not everybody is expecting per the 4-year cycle having based on the halving and all the things that everybody's looking at. Well, let's look at that data point and say, hey, like, here's something that points to maybe this next year is going to be a little bit different than the ongoing 4-year cycle. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Shall we pull up your charts?
Yes, go ahead. I want to talk about the some altcoins here.
All right, let's get into altcoins. So just 1 second here. And I see that it's happening. What are your DGen altcoin picks? He says. So you should definitely join. It's happening for 268. You should definitely join the Hive Telegram, VIP Telegram. It is free. You sign up to BYDFI, and the link is in the description below with our verification bot. You deposit any amount, $5, $10, whatever you want, transfer it to your futures, and you get a $100 future bonus. And the reason I'm saying this, it's happening, is that we have a whole channel called Phoenix, right? Inside the Hive. So let me see, 10x Phoenix Gem Picks. Okay. Those are charts that Rob has identified that could potentially do a massive, massive move when the rotation happens for altcoins. So we have all of those picks in our Telegram. We're starting to populate that channel right now as well. And, apart from that, we're teaching you how to trade here, right? So like in between waiting for those 10x Phoenixes to play out, and you could actually allocate some here and there as we go along, you're learning how to find the ones that are the biggest movers right now, right? So that's the coolest thing. So that's what I'll say. You got to get into the Telegram if you want to see those 10x Phoenix picks, and it's still free for you right now as our gift.
Yes, and the 10x Phoenix picks, I also put in there on when to leave the trade and take a small loss on it, because the 10x picks don't really work out unless you get close to the local low. Then because I don't go for all-time highs. It's going to go to the moon. I don't play that game that this is going to change your life, that if you buy this token, it's going to $1 million. I sit there and I actually look at the technicals, and I look at things. The reason it's called a 10x Phoenix pick is I look for tokens that where they kind of got a lot of hype when they came out, and then they died. Hence, a Phoenix, whenever it dies and it gets reborn afterwards and does 10x. back to a local high. It's a 10x move. It's not like going like, oh, it's going to all-time high, something new. It's a technical analysis thing that I basically spot out, that I've actually played out a few times myself, and it worked out really well. But I also still put risk management as well too. Like if it closes on this level, leave the trade, wait until we close back above it, or we get back down to this next low, and then we're going to revisit it. So it's not just, I don't even sit there and say buy and hold this token. I sit there and say, I'm going to enter this here, and if it does this, I'm going to leave trade. I'm going to wait, and I'll come back to it later. So I even put risk management ideas on as well too.
Which is amazing, because most channels, they'll tell you, this is looking like a 10x Phoenix. You'll start to accumulate it and you'll build your bags up, and then it'll go to zero. And nobody would have warned you, hey, this thing is not looking as good as it did. So we always practice managing risk on the channel, even if it is something that's a riskier play, right? So that's what we're doing for you guys, and it's all in the Telegram for free right now. So it's a no-brainer. You've got to sign up. Do it for New Year's. Do it for your New Year's bonus or your New Year's resolution or whatever it is. All that information is still accessible for free, and that's our gift to you on this channel. So yes, Publius says that's smart. Yes, it is. Yes, it's risk management while taking advantage of the risk to the upside.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. I've already been in situations where people were thought like this was like, I've been in like in groups who had moon bags and I bought them, and one of two things happened to me on holding them. One, they got delisted from the exchange. So how am I going to sell them? And usually they get delisted, they just go dead anyway. Right. So why sit there, even if it's $100, even if you put $100 in it and it goes down to $70 and you take a $20 loss and it goes down another 40-50%, you just saved yourself tons of money. Exactly. And I don't want people to have those same experience that I had, like hoping like, well, is this still a moonbag pick? Well, potentially we need to sit there and wait for a signal again, but I'm still waiting for this signal right here. We had the signal, but it got lost. So I exited. I tell you what I'm looking for to exit, but it's up to you to make that decision if you want to exit as well too. I think it's like there's a couple like Plume. There's a couple out there that I still think are great picks, but I'm still waiting for some confirmations in order for me to enter in on them but they're at those areas where I'm probably posting some more after this weekend here, where they're getting close to those areas where I'm like, all right, this is like, maybe next YouTube, I'll show examples of what I did in order to help me get the successful picks on it and how I made 10x moves on a simple TA analysis.
Right. And we do go over that in the course that we filmed, guys. We go over how the 10x Phoenixes are identified. And, we do briefly explain that. So we have that set up in our channel as well. And this is the best way to go about it, because just like Rob said, in other groups that I've been in, I've accumulated some of the coins that have just gone to zero and there's never been any follow-up, right? So we try to always protect and manage risk on this channel and in the Hive because it's a group effort, right? And we want to make sure that everybody's doing collectively well. I see here it's happening, says you become exit liquidity when you join typically. And yeah, on a lot of channels, they'll start talking about these moves. And Rob has covered this extensively on our lives here, just on YouTube, that they'll start talking about a coin when it's already at a certain point on X, but they'll wait until they've been able to accumulate themselves and, a small insider group of whoever they're part of. But we don't do that here. Like, we're actually trying to identify those when they're happening at the bottom of the pattern, right? So that's something that we do differently. And we want you guys all to be able to get in on that. And we're very transparent about it. And, just to like, learn how to get in at the bottom instead of, when something is already taken off and it's popular on X. If it's already popular on X, a lot of times it's a little bit too late. So this is alpha.
You're not going to get a 10X on it. And I just don't want people to blindly hold something because I said it's a 10X Phoenix. I want you to sit there and read. I put the words on there. If this happens, I'm leaving the trade. So you know what I'm doing. It's just up to somebody else doing it as well too, because I don't have any inside information. I'm not a pump guy, but this is something where it's just a technical analysis. Like it's just signals that I get that I've made 10Xs on. Not every single trade that I sit there and find makes a 10X, but it's ones that it's this setup here that I've personally made 10Xs on. Not every single one, but whenever I do, they happen really well. It's like, holy crap.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So we're letting you know early in our channel. And, that's the difference between a pump and dump and a group that's actually, very good at TA and has some talented analysts like Rob, is that, you don't need to be in a pump and dump group. You can identify those without doing those kind of things. And even often before those groups get involved, right? Like, so this is the real alpha, you guys. And if you're here, then you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing and you're setting yourself up for some incredible success, because that is, what we're doing here. And we've been nailing some bangers like left and right. And, we want to make this group amazing. Okay. So it's happening. So Watchman, I just want to shout out to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Watchman's one of our bigger supporters, and cheers to you, Watchman. I'm almost out of my drink. I had Bailey's, coffee and Bailey's. So let us know what you guys are all drinking. We got somebody having a Kratom drink here. It's happening. That's pretty cool. We're getting funky here. We're having fun on New Year's Eve. So yeah, happy New Year's to you. And it's happening. Are you guys longing or shorting Bitcoin right now? Well, actually, we just updated Bitcoin yesterday in a symmetrical triangle. So we're sort of kind of watching for Bitcoin to make a move either to the upside or to the downside.
Really, break of the symmetrical triangle, it's 50-50. So
right.
I'm game for either way. I'm not gonna front run it because it's too 50-50. Everything's just right in the middle. And you don't want to open up a trade whenever it's right in the middle of a pattern. That gives you the worst odds ever.
Right, exactly. So Watchman says, I strongly believe the last group was in use their members as exit liquidity. I'm glad the hive is full of real people. And yeah, thank you for that, Watchman. And unfortunately, there are a lot of groups like that. It doesn't last long. Like, I've built my brand in this space out of longevity and trust, and just trying to like do things that bring value to people, right? And using people as exit liquidity is never a good idea. I know that it happens in the space, but we don't have to do that to make money. We can all work collectively as a hive, as a beehive, right? To make the success together. And that's what we're doing. And it's really cool to see. And we're building it up and we're going strong. And all of you guys are a big part of that success. So we want to thank each and every one of you for supporting. So you guys find a lot of success in trading patterns. Do you ever create volume profiles and trade within those? So it's happening. You definitely need to join our group because you are going to learn so much. Actually, we just filmed a whole course with Rob's very amazing strategies that are simple, yet very powerful and very effective. And a pattern is just a very small part of that. I mean, I think we talk about things on this channel that you will not see anywhere else on X. And it is part of the reason why our members are having some great success.
Yeah, right, I mean, I trade a lot with momentum, stuff like that. The volume profiles, I actually do have one of my admins that's avidly learning that as well too, because he likes that type of stuff and gets more into it. So there might be more volume profile stuff later on in the future as well too. So I'm going to give a shout out to one of our admins, Mike. He's actually actively learning that type of stuff and getting better and getting more efficient at that every day.
Right. And so if you want to know Rob's strategies, you just got to get in the Hive, the Telegram. It's free to join. You get $100 bonus by signing up to BYDFI. And by the way, there's no KYC necessary. So you just use your Gmail, you join BYDFI through our verification bot in the description for Telegram, and you're part of the Hive. You get your $100 bonus, and then you get to have access to all of these different tools. And oftentimes we'll live chart on YouTube. So you'll see what Rob looks at, the strategies he uses, and unlike other channels where they just post setups, we explain how to get in and out of things and why, when is a good time to do that based on all the different indicators, right? Because a lot of times we'll just put the setup up there and say, these are the levels, this is where, but you're going to learn how to fish on this channel. You're going to learn how to spot those nuances that other traders might not know how to do, right?
Yep. Because I mean, a lot of people, so I've taught a lot of people how to trade so far since I've gotten more successful. And I've done a lot of one-on-ones teaching people. And one thing I've learned is that people, what they want is impossible. So what people want is just a clear black and white picture. And what I've learned, there is no clear and black and white picture in trading, and everything is zones and probabilities. And you have to, and that's why risk management is so important, position sizing, all that type of stuff. So learning to manage risk, learning to, and just practicing and getting better is just very important. And you also kind of got to like it as well too. Like I enjoy trading. I think it's fun. I think it's, even when I lose, I still think I'm having fun. It's more like a game to me at this point. And right. Once you start getting to those levels where you see it more like a game, you become more successful, because in the end, you're trying to make your digit. The goal is to make your digits go up in your bank account. What I mean by that is you're trying to make your bank account go up in money. But if you don't view it as money, if you view it as points, and you're just trying to gather points, go play any video game, any sport, your points go up and down. But in the long run, you're going to gather more and more points. And that's what trading is. It's a sport where you're gathering points. That is actually money in the end. So if you change that mindset just a little bit, I think I've told people, like I've had people pay me for one-on-ones before, and the one simple thing that changed their whole outlook was me sitting there saying, stop looking at this as money and look at it as points. And they completely started winning afterwards because that's what they did. They're like, all right, it's just points. I'm trying to get more points. And they stopped paying attention to the money. Whatever reason, money makes an attachment in your mind. And whenever you don't manage risk correctly, whenever you get greedy or fearful, whenever you're fearful, you're taking profits either too early or you're taking losses too soon. Whenever you're greedy, you're not taking profits.
Right.
So if you get disconnected from them feelings and you're just trying to make points and you're just trying to get points and win the game, you start winning and you start making money.
Yes, I love it. And I'm going to highlight this now. Watchmen, okay? Rob's strategy is solid. I never used the 9 SMA before. So glad he shows his experience on back testing it. So yesterday, Knight lost the 9 and then it had a very fast move to the 50. And we actually talked about that on the channel yesterday, live on YouTube, guys. So that's just part of his strategy. It's happening, and it's very, very effective. And yesterday, if you go back, sometimes these clips have to buffer, and I can't put it out on X right away. But Rob explained exactly what to look for on going into the setup and all the different things that could play out. So we'll go over those 2 setups and how they panned out, so you guys can learn on the channel a little bit about how we do it. But it looks like we're also going to go over a new setup for you. So pay close attention, guys. We do want to follow up on this. So if you're seeing this live setup here on YouTube, join the group and let us know how you did. Ask questions. Get involved. Now it's like now or never, guys. Now is your biggest chance. Like, sign up before New Year's, get involved before New Year's, and join the train, man, because this train is going one way and it's forward and full speed ahead.
Yep. So, all right. So we're talking about 10x Phoenixes. So we're just going to give you a little brief overview of 10x Phoenixes. So here's the one that I haven't posted in group that I'm kind of waiting on still to post in group. This is it's LINEA. It's it had a lot of hype on it. So I know I pay attention a lot to trending tokens, hype tokens, and stuff like that. And that takes a lot of dedication. Like, every day I'm checking trending tokens 3 to 4 times a day. I'm keeping track on how much they're trending. And so it takes a lot of work on my back end to kind of do that one here. So this one here, I don't even know what it does yet. I just know it was trending a bunch and it was very popular. I have not looked in to see what this token even does. And I honestly don't even really care because that makes you attached to a token. If you look at the FA and what a token does, sometimes you get attached to it. And I don't like being attached to anything. I say trade it, don't date it. So yeah. I keep that mentality. But what I notice is one thing I do know is where the attention goes, the money flows. So there's a lot of tension when this token came out here. But one thing I did notice for this cycle here was when a token comes out, it wasn't like the previous cycles where it just keeps going up and going parabolic, right? And something I noticed here is when it comes out, you have usually on one of the exchanges, I don't know which one, sometimes Binance, sometimes KuCoin, sometimes MEXC, I don't know. I got to sit there and do my research. You get a nice giant listing candle right here. And typically it gets filled at some point. And after it gets filled, sometimes it goes a little bit lower, a little bit higher, you get a 10x move out of it. So say if we get another 20% drop on it, a 5x move is all-time high, or that's 6x move right there. So if you put fibs on it, this one could go into all-time highs because it's a brand new token. So say we do go all the way down here, your fibs would actually I'm in linear chart, so I got to change this a little bit. Sorry, my fibs were set for a different kind of chart, so I had to change something.
Okay.
And maybe I'll be teaching that later on as well too. So
right.
So right here, I'm not going to teach that right now on YouTube. But anyway, so say we get that 10 drop, our Fibonacci level would go right at the bottom here. We could go a little bit lower, so we might have to stretch that down a little bit lower here. And you go in the price discovery, a 10x move would be just right above the last Fibonacci level here. And it could potentially be like, would be our first Fibonacci level here. So this could be a nice 10x Phoenix. I mean, worst case scenario, in my opinion, it's going to be at least a 6x move. So, I mean, that there is something not to be mad as well, too. But I haven't posted this in group just yet because I haven't got the volume yet. I've been watching for smaller time frame volumes. I'm also watching for other signals breaks above certain different things and just in technical analysis. I remember somebody mentioning even on YouTube that this has good fundamentals and they were really all about it. Mm-hmm. And I agreed with, I was like, yeah, probably. But I knew that I think that was right around here. That was a little bit not too long ago. That was right around here. And so far, since that person said that, we've dropped about 50%. That's wow. I haven't really, I've been waiting for this to basically get filled for a 60% drop. And for this to kind of start, I want to see accumulation. So after this drop is done, we get down here, I don't just look to instantly buy. I look for accumulation ideas. And wow. where the big money starts stepping in. That's when they start buying little. You're looking for slightly higher lows. There's a lot of different little technicals that I like to put in there. Some volume picks up, something like that. So this could be a potential 10x Phoenix here, but I just don't have all the signals yet. I mean, it could be the complete bottom right here. And if you go into log scale, remove 5 drawings. I mean, if this is the very local bottom, go back to 1 day here, go into log scale, put a trend line on it, set your alert on the trend line. If it breaks the trend line, all right, now you know your entry, and you put your stop losses underneath the trend line. There's your risk management. So say if it does break out right here, which is also right lined up the 1 day SMA 9, by the way. So you don't even have to use the trend line if you don't want to. You could use the 1 day SMA 9. Why is that?
SMA 9.
So there's double confluence right there, double confluence. So let's say that does happen. You get an entry, let's say right here at 0.07. You can put your stop loss underneath the 1 day 9 where it's at now. You're looking at a potential 300% gain from right there. Say you get a little bit better entry, you get to scale in on a retest or something like that. So we'll put that in the middle. You're looking at a 375% gain. Close underneath, you're looking at a 10% loss. There is ridiculously amount of gains with really low risk.
Yeah, talk about risk reward. Hey, you're asking for the DGen picks. It's happening. Here you go. Rob gave you guys all a gift for New Year's Eve. And like he said, another guy started talking about it. I mean, people are talking about it on YouTube since then. It's gone down 50%. So I just want to put this up there just so you guys, keep this in mind. Let's see. I think it's this one right here. Is it this one? Yeah. Your altcoin bags, I can go lower. Okay. So I think we can all identify with this, that nobody ever, I can go lower. So that's the thing. Like, and on other channels, they might start talking about it. They might start telling you to accumulate it. Rob has been looking at it, but hasn't put it out there yet because it wasn't quite time and wanted to also practice risk management. So that's one of the main differences on our channel than other channels is that that's something that we look for. Okay. So that's pretty phenomenal. And this is a really, really, really good risk reward play. So you feel that sentiment, it's happening. Yeah. So this is the channel for you if you've been wrecked by YouTubers telling you to accumulate stuff, and a lot of them aren't traders. A lot of them are just long-term investors. So on this channel, we teach you how to get into those moon bags, but also manage your risk.
Yeah, I mean, I've been wrecked multiple times. I'm not going to lie. I've been wrecked completely. I don't want other people to go through the same thing. I don't get anything from somebody being wrecked. It doesn't help me at all. If you make more money, it makes my credibility better. And if I get you guys to help manage risk, and if you make smaller losses, I think that does credibility as well too. So I want you guys to also make smaller losses. Like I'm very big on taking small losses and big wins. Like I'm okay with taking a loss because I know there's gonna be another. I'm gonna be able to make up that loss rather quickly. And like I said here, like very simple. Take off the trend line now. Let's just take that off. Very simple. Set an alert on the 1 day SMA 9 where we're at right now. I'm just giving you guys something for free right now on YouTube.
Another gift for New Year's Eve. Let's go.
Great. So now whenever this gets closed above it, you take entry, right? So say if you would have done that beforehand, say you took entry right. We didn't even get into the charts I want to talk to yet. So say you took entry right here and you got the break in the retest here and you got a close, you left on the close underneath it. You legitly took a 3% loss. Like, tell me, and now you're waiting. Now it's down even lower, getting lower. You might actually get back in at this level again, because if it closes up above it, you're back into that level, but you're not risking another, like I'm sitting there saying, we potentially could go down to this level right here. That's what I'm looking for. So you're not risking a 30% drawdown on that bag here. And now you get a 30% discount from this area here down to here. And then you get to sit there and look for the same exact signal. Nothing different. I'm not doing anything crazy. There's actually nothing special I do. I'm just patient waiting for my signals and I wait for confirmation basically. I'm not a wizard. I'm not anything special. I just learned to kind of wait for the signals here on the on the 1 day time frame here for these kind of picks here, because right now I'm calling for a potential another 25% pullback. So why would if I think it can go down here, why wouldn't I just wait to see if it does come back down here? I actually might buy a little bag down here and put it in the sidelines. And if it does, like for me, $100 isn't nothing. Say I put $100 in down in here and that's nothing. If I lose $100, whatever. I've lost way more than that in spot. I've actually never lost. I never lost in a year on leverage. I've only lost in spot, which is kind of weird. It's usually
Right.
the opposite.
Yeah, because you accumulate those, and it's like Rob said, if you start way too early, I mean, you just get wrecked and wrecked and wrecked until maybe the token just dies out or whatever it is. So, yeah,
Even when it runs. So say if you bought up here and say it only does do a 200, 300% move from this area, from this zone right here. Say it does only go up to here, and you bought somewhere in this area when everybody was all hyping it. Now you're only at break even on your first buy, and it just, if you would just look at the 1 day 9 right here. So people are probably sitting there saying buy the dip right in this area. There's actually bullish divergence right here. I don't play bullish divergence too often because I've gotten wrecked on bullish divergence too much this cycles, and so I kind of stopped, but I still watch it. But there was bullish divergence right here. That's what that blue line here is, and it never turned in. So somebody was probably trying to front run it right here for the bullish divergence, but it never broke the 1 day 9. So I mean, when you get the bullish divergence with the break of the 1 day 9 and some other confluences, then okay. But if you look at even the indicators, they weren't facing up yet. You didn't get the bullish crossover till like right here. Then right here, you could have took an entry, but you would have had there and kind of had to leave again. So it's just been choppy here. But again, my biggest indicator on these 10x gems is, for whatever reason, we fill these listing candles on whatever exchange they happen on. We fill them. I don't know why. I can't give you a reason why. It's a pattern I noticed. And It's made me manage risk way better and made me a lot better gains in the long run.
Well, there you go. You just got a 101 on how to get into 10x phoenixes. So that is a truly lucky gem indeed. All of you here who are catching this are going to be very lucky to have learned, how to manage the risk in this way to get into these 10x phoenix picks, but not to lose your entire bag, right? And that's what a lot of us have done. I know I have. I know Rob. So many of us have been wrecked on buying, near the middle or whatever it is, based on other things. When this 1 day 9, we do this in the course. We teach the 1 day 9, and it just patience, let it play out and let it do its thing and get in when the time is right. And that way you can protect your capital. So on that note, guys, here's the thing for you. Sign up to the link below for BYDFI, okay, to get into our VIP Hive Telegram. You get the $100 bonus for any deposit, right? You start trading, double your money, take that 100, play with the 10x Phoenix, and then continue trading. I mean, you could potentially turn that $100 into quite a bit of money if you play your cards right. So even if you're starting out with next to nothing, there is no excuse. There's no excuse not to sign up, no excuse not to try and get your feet wet here, because this is what you're looking at. Right. And this is the kind of information you have access to, which I haven't seen in any other group. Right. I haven't seen any other group teach this kind of risk management on these sort of like long-term 10x plays or bigger plays. So yes, Linnea, keep an eye on it. Linea. OK, we're giving it to you for free here on YouTube. And let's see how this plays out. But now you understand what to look for when getting into these plays.
Yeah, and like me as a leader, I've learned not to post them too early because people get in too early then. Because some people will just like I've been leading for quite a bit of time in multiple different groups, and I don't like seeing people lose money.
Right.
Even if I post I've learned I've had to scale back on posting ideas, because ideas sometimes aren't trade idea. Like, it doesn't mean enter now. It means you got to wait. But this is what I'm watching here. So like, there's a lot of things I want to post right now, but they just haven't quite given me the technical signals that I want to post them just yet. And we haven't got the course out yet to where I can sit there and say, did you watch the video on how to take these kind of trades? Because if I post it right now and you jump into it and it drops another 30%, I'm gonna sit there and say, well, you shouldn't have taken it yet because the signals haven't happened. It's something I'm watching right now. I'm not in it yet. I'm gonna be looking buying lower potentially. I'm not scaling in because I haven't got my signals to start scaling in yet. So I try to be diligent on that one too. Because again, it doesn't help me if people start losing a bunch of money. It helps me if people win. And it also makes me feel better too. I like seeing people win. I mean, I like trying to take money from market makers, not you guys.
That's right. That's right.
So let's go ahead and jump into others, because I want to talk about that, because I know everybody's I mean, Bitcoin, great. That's fantastic. We might be going up next year. We might be going down. Everybody has their ideas. Everybody has their whatchamacallit here. But I posted this in group yesterday. I accidentally pulled up the others.d chart, and it caught my eye. I was just flipping through charts last night. And this, so others.d actually got me a really good short entry. So it's not others, it's others.d. So it's others dominance. So
Right.
this is everything. This is the dominance of the top crypto of the everything underneath the top 10 cryptocurrencies. So this is a 3-day chart as well too. We're hit this trend line once, twice, 3. Now we're hit this trend line 4 times, right? We broke the 3-day 9, right? We have bullish divergence on every oscillator I use in every single way. So that there is telling me something's brewing up with everything that we showed you yesterday on altcoins. Here's another chart to kind of add to that one here. Is it going to mean we're going to pump instantly? No. I mean, I put a line right here for sell in May, go away, just off of that idea. 141 days, maybe Q1 of next year, maybe alts do get their run. This is a very bullish looking chart to me. And that's your mid caps to small cap altcoins.
Right. So potentially you're going to have a little bit of patience here, but this is a really interesting chart and a really telling chart also. So yeah, guys, like these are things also that I haven't seen on other channels. I'm just seeing the same old narratives, the same things, the same talking points, but these are the real charts that people should be keeping an eye on to get that confluence, to understand what could be happening.
Yeah, everybody's just paying attention to the 3 greens, and next month is red. That's all I hear about right now. So.
Right. Yeah. The end of the 4-year cycle, because 2 years in a row, we went over that yesterday on the channel as well, that's potentially an indecision candle, a doji candle that signals indecision, but not anything like, oh, this 4-year cycle. I mean, people they like narratives and they like to attach themselves to certain talking points, but here on the channel we're trying to find confluence and clues in the charts as to what's happening next, instead of fixating on one certain narrative. So the title for this is The Hidden Bitcoin Signal No One Is Watching. And that's why I like to say that, because we're looking for different signals. Today we went over gold versus Bitcoin, right? To give us a big indicator as to what could happen. And is altcoin season about to start? Now, nobody's talking about, well, I say altcoin season just because it's better for the title, but is an altcoin run about to start? Okay, let's say that. Nobody's talking about that because alts are completely dead, right? Like everybody, except for the ones that are popping, which we're kept catching in the group. Nobody's talking about, could we get some altcoin action? That's not on anybody's mind right now. It's just bear market talk, right? So yeah, I think that's interesting as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to sit there and point out, I wish we had the other group. One of the groups I got kicked out of one of the groups because I was talking too much bearish or something like that. And I was the only one. So start of last year, I wasn't bearish on Bitcoin, but I was bearish on altcoins. I didn't even know exactly why. And I said, I'm not holding any altcoins. Like anytime I sat there and tried doing like a bag, I sold it instantly afterwards. I'm like, I'm just not doing it. And I don't know what it was. It was just something that was just not, I even know there was a technical, I'm trying to remember, because a lot of that stuff got deleted from one of the groups I was in, because I was just sitting there just looking at a bunch of different things. And also too, I got kicked off. So I'm from the USA. I got kicked off exchanges, and I learned, hey, if I get kicked off an exchange, I can't hold a bag anyway, because if I hold on a ledger, it doesn't really matter, because I can't go sell it for very much anyways. And every altcoin I seen got delisted on the exchanges I was on at the time. They basically just got wrecked anyway. So why would I want to hold on to it anyway? So, and one of the things I think beginning of last year was I was looking at this others chart, and I think it was somewhere in this, let me see here. So 2024. So it was this trend line right here. So it was right here. It was actually technical, yes. So it was actually this chart that I started using beginning of last year. And it was this line right here in February, right around my birthday, of course. Mm-hmm. And birthdays, I always got wrecked on longs. So that's why I short on my birthday. These are just things that whenever you trade long enough, you start remembering. So it's something I'm like, I always got wrecked on my birthday. And I remember this point. So February 09, February 09, this trend line got broken here. This support here on this chart here. And I actually got made fun of for opening up shorts at that time. And I just remember some of the people in the group like, you're crazy for opening up short. We're in a bull run, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, look at this chart right here. We broke this. We're bearishly retesting. I'm shorting. And I actually made a significant amount of money down to this trend line right here to June.
Right.
Some tokens. So I think during where everybody was extremely bullish, I was bearish on altcoins. I didn't have an opinion on Bitcoin. It was actually because I wasn't trading Bitcoin. I was trading altcoins because I was always led to believe that altcoins are better to trade because of the amount of gains is going to be way better, which this year we learned that wasn't the case. But anyway, the short gains were great in altcoins, put it that way. And I made good money through this zone right here. And now everybody's completely bearish, saying we're going lower. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, we're on this trend line again. We
On the
keep
bottom of the trend line, yeah.
We got extremely amounts of bullish indicators here. So I'm not going to say we're going to pop off right away, but even if we just go back up to this trend line here, that's still significant gains in the altcoin market.
Right.
And this is, and everybody's bearish right now. And that I was complete opposite. And that was, again, February of 2025, when everybody was extremely bullish. And basically, I think I was called an idiot a few times because I wasn't buying long-term bags. I was called stupid.
Right.
So,
and now,
I don't feel stupid anymore. I made a lot of money this bull run in shorts. I'm going to put it that way. I made more money in shorts than I did in longs on this bull run. And it was due to this idea right here. And then once we got down here, we got more choppy. And I just started day trading, not doing swing trades and all that type of stuff.
Right. Yeah. And so these are the kind of things you look at. And it's not that Rob was doing it just to be a contrarian, right? Or do the opposite. He was looking at things that people aren't paying attention to because they're stuck in an echo chamber on X, right? Or they're stuck with a certain fixation on a narrative. But the charts really do give you hints as to what's happening, and they show you the facts. So that's what we're trying to ground you with on this channel. And Digicam, man, I'm glad you're bringing this up because, yeah, we want as many people to join as possible. So I'll highlight this here on the screen. Do I have to do anything special besides opening an account with BYDFI using your referral link? So that's in the description. If you go into the Hive verification bot, you'll be led to our link to sign up. There's no KYC. You use your Gmail, very easy. You make any deposit, so $5 to $10, anything. And you've got to transfer that to your futures account and let it sit there until you get your bonus. Okay. So the bonuses are distributed on Tuesdays and Fridays. So if you're signing up today, you'll get your $100 bonus on Friday. But that's what you have to do. You just have to keep it there. And if you don't get that bonus, it's just faster if you do DM Rob or I and send us your user ID. Okay. So I did say that in the group. We'll never ask you for obviously any other details like seed phrases, of course, or passwords or sending us money or nothing like that. We'll only DM you to ask you for your user ID to make sure that you've been credited your deposit if you haven't already. So Digicam, man, DM in the group. If you don't know my username, it's Megan Nilsson, but you can actually just go and find messages from Rob or I and DM us and send us your user ID. Okay. Guys, we're getting some signups as we're on the live now. Amazing. Happy to see all you guys getting in there. So yeah, just that's what you have to do. Those are the steps. And yeah, get in there before we close this, guys, and before that bonus is over.
Yeah, definitely get in. Whenever if you want to DM on us, just make sure you click on whoever's posting, me or Megan. Click on us and just DM us that way. I don't like to DM people first just because of all the people that are scammers out there. And like she said, the only thing in order to get these bonuses sometimes, if they don't come through right away, thank you. Also, I want to do a shout out to BYDFI for being able to supply these bonuses to you guys. It's I've never encountered a exchange that will do this for people. And shout out to Megan for being able to nail this deal down as well too. Shout out to Megan. So thank you, Megan, for being able to get this type of deal, be able to work as a deal for every member in the group and every new member is coming in as well too, because that's a huge deal right there. I mean, $100 is it. I know when I first trade, I know whenever I first started to trade money, $100 is a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of money to me. Whenever I first, I'm like, oh, it's only $100. But when I'm thinking about when I first started trading, that was a lot of money. Like you lose $100 of your own money, you're like, dang, that's my electric bill almost or something. You know what I mean? Where you can sit there and practice with that and start getting into more day trading and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's I'm very happy that we could do this for you guys and to bring that value to you. Like I said, we're not the type of group that is trying to do pump or dumps or make money that way. We're just literally trying to provide you as much value as possible. And you are supporting us by signing up as well. So guys, we're happy to have all of you. And shout out to you, Rob, for all of the amazing setups and all of the information you supply us with 24/7. Rob is really working hard for you guys. And it's just been absolutely amazing. So we're super happy to be able to do this for you. And it's a limited time. So take advantage of the offer. And also want to shout out all of our active members who we've DM'd with a special bonus, okay, who have been posting their results and actively contributing to the group. We have given them bonuses, and it's really amazing to be able to do that for you. Thanks to our special relationship with BYDFI, and they've really done a lot. So guys, it's been a group effort, a team effort, and that really makes us happy to be able to bring that to you. So yeah, so do go ahead and do those steps and get in. And it's not a big effort on your part to be able to try to just start, get your feet wet. That's all I will say about that, right? So we're going into an interesting period here. We're at the bottom of this trend line here on others dominance, and things could be turning around for alts, or at least like a run could be imminent.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, everybody's so bearish. Usually the opposite happens. The herd's always wrong. You just got to be a little bit more patient. Things aren't instant. We're in it. I mean, right now I'm not as active as I normally am. It's because it's a holiday week and it's slow volatility. We nailed some great bangers. We got some great wins in the group. But again, it's just very low volatility. So you also got to trade what the market's giving you. And right now is getting ready to be prepared for what's going to happen. Whether it's long or short, we're going to nail it. We're going to be ready for whatever. I mean, say the bears are right. We do go down. Awesome. We're going to make money during that time too. So right. To me, it doesn't matter if we go up and down. But I don't want to sit there and be just so dominated in one way of thinking, because I'm looking at charts right now and I'm just going, this chart doesn't agree that we're going lower. Like it just doesn't. You look at Bitcoin 2 week. So this is Binance. This is the dollar one. Let's look at another one. Sorry. Do I have it in this one? I thought I did. So let's go to the Binance one. So we're going to go Binance 2 weeks. Like indicators here, like it's saying that we got our potential bullish crossover here. So at least a run up to 20 here could give us some move to the upside. But if we don't break 20, then it's still in a bearish momentum. But we start breaking that 20, we're closer to lows than we are highs. And it's just, there's something not setting correctly. Like I'm looking like last all-time highs. Like look at the difference here. So last bull run, I have to find my other chart here. Last bull run, like look at the difference in the indicators. They're opposite of whenever the all-time high was in. Like if this indicator was all the way up to the top right now and everybody was screaming bull run and this was flipping over and everything else was flipping over, I'll be sitting there saying, yeah, I don't agree with it. But it's not. Like there are some things that are concerned, like losing the weekly SMA 50. Do we go back up? Bearish we test it, come back down. I think I saw the call outs right now for the weekly time frame or for the bear market this season from other people. What they were saying was 35,000 or so. And that there I found very strange as well too, because I don't have everything memorized in my head. Was it the 5th? I think it's the weekly SMA 200 here. I gotta find my other Bitcoin chart. Sorry.
No worries.
This Bitcoin doesn't have all the information on it. Like I wasn't. These are things I wasn't prepared to talk about. So I do all things just right on hand. I'm better just going with the flow sometimes. But you look at the Bitcoin weekly chart here. So people are telling you 35,000 or so, right? So stock market roll. We're gonna go off stock market rules right now. Stock market rule for best time to invest, the best time you will ever invest in the stock market is on the weekly time frame when you're at or under the weekly SMA 200, correct?
Right.
That is a stock market rule. So let's go ahead and bring that into Bitcoin. Weekly SMA 200, right here, local bottom, right here, local bottom, right here, COVID-19 bottom. The only time we ever broke underneath it was last bear market, and we dropped. That is not what I would clicked on, but let's go ahead right here. So whenever we did go underneath it, we dropped 32%, 34%. So let's see if that's even realistic. So say we get down all the way down to $57,000, which is where the weekly SMA 200 is at, and we drop 34%. That gives us around $37,000. So people are expecting this type of same thing to basically play out. Now, here's the thing that I have learned in my time of TA. People are going to sit there and say, people always say things as absolutes. Does either of these tops and bottoms, do they look the same to you? Like this was a double top. This was a higher parabolic move. This was just a crazy parabolic move. This bottom lasts a little bit longer. This bottom just touched and went off and came back down for COVID-19. This one went underneath. So are we going to do the exact same thing? The top, stubble, bottom, if this is the cycle top, does it look like the last cycle tops? Every cycle is completely different, but they're just similar in certain ways. And that's why it's really important to manage risk. So are we going to, so say we are, I mean, technically, I think we are in some kind of bear market. Bear markets can be a month. Bear markets can be a year long. Bear markets are short compared to bull markets. I know that from doing my research.
Right.
Bear markets,
right.
Market considers bear market underneath the 1-day SMA 200 a decline of, I can't remember the exact percentage because I don't have it on the top of my head, for a prolonged time. So we do have that decline. I know we do have that decline of percentage wise, and it's starting to go into prolonged time, but that doesn't mean the bear market has to last for a year. There's been bear markets in the stock market that's been months. There's been bear markets that's been years. There's been bear markets that's been weeks. So
that's right. And they are very, very much shorter than the bull markets. That's a fact over Bitcoin's history. And yeah, I like what you're saying about no cycle is ever truly, exactly the same. They rhyme, but they don't repeat exactly the same way. And we haven't had that euphoric sort of like massive blow off top. So it would make sense to expect the same sort of massive move to the downside, in my opinion. But that being said, we're going to follow this and we're going to track it. And, we're going to go with what the price tells us. But as of right now, we have all of that data set and confluence that we presented to you to give us a good indicator as to what could happen next.
Yep. And I mean, simple. I mean, I'm going to put it very simple again. The easiest thing to do right now, instead of trying to predict and trying to, the one thing I see that influencers do that I dislike, that I think does them harm, is they try to predict and try to make assumptions on what's going to happen. I don't like doing that. I like sitting there saying, if this happens, I'm doing this. If this happens, I'm doing that. There's plan A, plan B, and plan C. So plan for whatever's going to happen and figure out how to make your digits go up no matter what happens, right? So we are still in this 12-hour symmetrical triangle. We are still playing this game of being in this right here. We break up, we break down, bearishly retest, confirm that breakdown. We're going down lower, at least probably to 75K in my opinion. After that, that's the measured move, because we made this chart, I think, yesterday or the day before. Right. Or we break up and we're going up to $100,000 or so, and we sit there and see what's going to happen afterwards. One or the other is going to happen. The price action goes two ways. It goes up or down. Right now, we're going up and down in really small time frames, not very much volatility, harder to make money in. Once we break out of this pattern, the trend is your friend to the end. We're going to know what trend it is and where it's going to be going next. If it breaks above this trend line, it's going up. If it breaks down underneath it, it's going down. What one's going to happen, I don't know. The signal's not there yet. We're going to let the chart tell us. And I'm not going to make predictions, because predictions just get you in trouble. They make you, the one thing that I notice when you start making predictions is you start becoming attached to that prediction, and you try finding reasons why that prediction, even though it's completely wrong, trying to figure out why, you're going to start trying to figure out why that prediction is right, to sit there and try keeping your whatever your steam going, because like, I think it's going to 75K next, and this is why, even though we're at 95K, this is why, because we're bearishly retesting the 12-hour SMA 200. We're going to reject there and now go down. But it breaks the 12-hour SMA 200, and it keeps going higher. And you're like, well, next we're going to break we need to do the one day SMA 200, 107,000. We'll reject off this one, and then we're going down to 75K. And you keep trying to protect that idea that you built in your mind, because in your mind, it has to play out. And I learned that's very bad. Or else, say you are right, and you're like, and you get overconfident on that idea, and then the next and you do actually make a bunch of money on it, because I've been in this boat as well too. You say, all right, I make a prediction and I am completely right, so my next prediction is going to be completely right, and I'm going to go even bigger and harder on it, and you end up being wrong, and you lose all the money that on your last prediction. You lost all your money that you made on your first prediction.
Right. Yeah. So in a nutshell, guys, this is like a great New Year's Eve stream, because it's kind of like recollecting all of the data and the tips, and kind of like consolidating all of Rob's experience in the markets to help you succeed going into 2026. It's a very special episode indeed, guys. And now you know everything we are looking for, and all of the different mindset mentalities you need to have when you're going into trading. And, you're ready to go. You're ready to get your feet wet and to start, experimenting with all of the new tools you have in your toolkit.
Yeah, so I mean, I just want to leave you guys with that one there. Really nothing more to say. Just be ready for whatever's going to happen. It's going to go up or down. Like, I guarantee you that it's going to go up or down. Be ready for whatever's going to happen. And if you don't like shorting, then you wait for the buy for the longs. If you like doing both, trading both ways, you want to make money now, then you got to learn how to trade both ways and be okay with shorting and longing. Because it's going to break up or down. It's going to happen. I guarantee you that. Like, but just looking for those signals, waiting for those confirmations is the part that's hard to play, because it takes patience sometimes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Patience is key, guys. Now you have all of the key levels to watch. We gave you a 10x Phoenix gem pick. You know how to get in, what to look for. Okay. Manage your risk accordingly. And if you want all of the setups going into the new year, and, today's our last day of the year streaming and our last day this week. So we won't be coming to you until next Monday, which I think is like the 5th. So guys, if you want to get alpha before that, you've got to sign up into the group. We will be posting any of the setups. And as you saw, others dominance, we're on the very, very bottom trend line. So we could be getting a rotation into alts and some altcoin activity. You don't want to miss that. So do sign up to the link there at the Hive, and we'd be happy to welcome you. We have 500 members. Okay. We're going very, very strong, and the community is awesome. And we're going to be rocking and rolling into the new year in there. So we appreciate all of our viewers and our new people. Shout out to you, Bob. Exactly. You've got the right mentality. Watchmen, you too, the winning mentality. Overconfidence has screwed me, you said in the past. That's right. You've got to just, get out of the trade if the indicators are showing you to do so, and take a small loss if that's what you got to do. But just know that the probabilities over time are in your favor. It's just the cost of getting into the trade, and we're winning so much in the group, and we're just really excited to have all of you. So thank you again for all of our supporters going into this new year. Big things are coming. I can promise you that. Big things. And it will only get better over time for you if you're just getting started. And that's it. So, Rob, any last words before we go into the new year?
Yeah, I actually do have a good last word on this one here.
All right.
So when I made the most money in the market so far is whenever everybody told me I was wrong, or I kind of got made fun of for it, and I trusted the charts and the TA that I kind of saw that the charts was showing me. And I even felt myself I was wrong. I felt like I was an idiot for doing certain things. Like, whenever you feel like that you're being an idiot and you're being dumb, and everybody around you is saying kind of the same thing, unless they're really good traders, because maybe they're thinking the same wavelength. That's the hardest part now for me. But usually whenever those areas come in and you're doing what you don't feels right, you usually make the most money. Because I can sit there and say, when I felt wrong and I just followed my plan, and I followed my strategy, I made the most money. If I followed my feelings, I lost money.
So the feelings and the emotions, we've got to keep those in check and stick to the plan, guys, and the mechanical rules that you're learning here on YouTube and in the group with us, and soon in our course that will be set to launch early January. I like those last words, Rob. So stick to your guns, stick to your rules, stick to your strategy. I like that as last words going into the new year. And guys, my last words would be never, ever give up. If you want to do this, if you want to make this your life, if you want to quit your 9-to-5, if you want to succeed in trading, whatever your goal is, set that goal and start working a plan. Put it out into the universe. Put that energy out there, because I'm telling you, it will be an unstoppable force, and nothing can stop you if you decide that that's just what you're going to do, and you start making moves and start, moving toward those goals. I promise you, you'll make progress, and day after day, you'll see the improvement, and it's going to be an amazing run. So I'm very excited for 2026 and for all of you, because I think there are very big things in store, and I can't say that enough. So again, just want to say thank you to everybody who's been tuning in 2025. And I guess on that note, Rob, we're going to see you guys all next year. Okay.
Well, next year, have a happy new year, and be ready for the best that's about to come.
Yes, I love it. Happy New Year, guys, and we'll see you next year.